I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got the best for so much less. You really flip your lid from bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. I don't wanna grow up, cause baby if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. More games, more toys, oh boy, I wanna be a Toys R Us kid. What's up, y'all? It's the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he, just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind. Check it out. Many of you have heard it's the end of an era. Toys R Us is closing forever if they can't sell it. I think that might still be on the table, but from what I've heard, Toys R Us is kaput. Toys are done. You know what I mean? And it's a sad day, man. It's a sad day. I grew up with Toys R Us. My mom, she used to take us to Toys R Us when we were growing up. We grew up in New York, and they used to have KB stores. They had Toys R Us. There was a store that used to be called Play World, but that went under a long time ago. A long time ago. And Toys R Us was it, man. You see this. We used to get all of our G.I. Joes from Toys R Us. The headquarters, all of the nice vehicles, the tank, we got all of it. And we just love Toys R Us, man. That was a big deal. When we were kids, we used to get the Toys R Us catalog, and we used to go through that joint, just looking at all the things we were going to ask for Christmas. But Mama couldn't get us nothing because we was in the hood and we was poor. Mama was trying to cook us up a hot plate. No. We was in the ghetto. We couldn't afford no Toys R Us. We wondered why Christmas missed us. Oh. Alright, let me stop. Listen, Toys R Us is closing. It's a bad thing, y'all. It's bad. This is not part of making America great, man. It's like this is going under and shit, man. But it's a sad thing, yo, But anyway, I want to give some reasons why, because for me, it's not really a surprise why Toys R Us is going under. I've been noticing some things over the past, 10 years or so. I'm wondering why it took so long. But anyway, let me just talk about some of the things that I noticed when I'm shopping in Toys R Us, because sometimes I take my child there. I take my son there to get his little Lego sets and stuff like that over the years. So one of the things that I've noticed is that Toys R Us has got fucking crappy service. Yes, they do. It's like they have salespeople walking around with the little blue vest on, and whenever they see you, they duck behind some bushes like, please don't ask me anything. Don't ask me anything. Don't bother me. No. Oh, you asked me something. They don't want to help you. Customer service it sucks at most Toys R Us. Not all of them. And if you're a Toys R Us employee, I'm not talking about you. I'm only talking about the ones who are not watching this video. Thank you very much. Bad stock. I noticed a long time ago that shopping at Toys R Us, you're really taking your chances, because most of the time they won't have what you're asking for. They won't have what you're looking for. They're just miraculously out of stock. And if you ask one of those crappy customer service people, they'll always say the same thing. We only have what's out here. We don't have that in stock. It's only what you see here. Yeah, but you have a big fucking stock area back there. Don't you even want to check? No, sir. We don't have anything, sir. The security. All right, so bad stock. Next, overpriced. You listen. So many times I've been shopping at Toys R Us. Like I said before, it could be my son's Lego set. It could be an action figure, game, ball, something. And I'll look at the price and I'm like, I know I can get this for less someplace else. You know what I mean? And I take my business elsewhere. So many of those things in there, it's like they never have sales. And if they do have sales, it's only after they jack up the price, so you're not really ever saving anything. I've noticed this. I am the customer. The customer is always right. All right. What's next? Low quality. The merchandise that they have. Now, I don't even think this is really their fault, but have you noticed that the actual toys, are pieces of shit? It's like the action figures. Remember how And once again, I'm a GI Joe man. When we used to get the GI Joes, the wrists used to move, the elbows used to move, the legs, the head used to move. They used to go up and down. Now, like the Avengers, if you get the Avengers action figures, like 9 times out of 10, what you're gonna see is some 6-inch tall action figure where the arms are just straight, and maybe it shoots out a little peg or something like that, or you press the tummy and it says Avengers Assemble. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's like you can, and they expect you to pay something like $19.99 for some shit like that. Are you kidding me? You can't even do anything with it. If you want to make the Flash look like he's running, you have to put one arm out straight and one arm all the way straight out back. That's no fun, man. No fucking fun at all. These toys are pieces of crap. And the worst offenders of all, shocker, are Disney toys. Back when my son was going through his Disney phase, you used to buy toys that were based on some of the Disney movies. Absolute crap. Most of them couldn't even stand on their own. All right. So the toys, low quality. What I cite next, of course, you have other outlets such as Walmart, Target, GameStop for your video games, and of course Amazon, shopping online. So that is something that I noticed a lot of times when I would go shopping at Toys R Us, and inevitably they didn't have what I was looking for, and the salesperson refused to go look in the back. Sorry, sir. I would be like, okay, I'd have to go somewhere else, and shocker, they would have it at Walmart. And Walmart is not even a huge toy store. It's just a few aisles. And when you even cut it down to just what's in the boys aisle or the boys section, it's only like 2 aisles worth of toys, but they would have what I would be looking for. I'm not making it up. I'm the customer, and the customer is always right. I'm just telling you what my experience was. Toys R Us, I'm sorry, that's what it is. All right, so I said next, no special events. You are a huge toy store, a huge toy store chain. You mean to tell me that you can't have special in-store events? I never saw anything going on in my neighborhood, Toys R Us. There would never, like, let's say the Avengers movie was coming out. You think that they could get some freaking basement bargain Captain America to stand outside, or to be inside, or something like that? The Black Panther came out. You don't think they could get fucking Tyrone to dress up like Black Panther and stand out in the front? You know what I mean? Why? Why couldn't you do that? Or even when that nuclear holocaust called The Last Jedi came out, you couldn't get a couple of stormtroopers to stand around inside the store to sell your fucking toys? They never did it. It's like, come on, man. You only have one thing that you do, right? You say Toys R Us, all right? You're not saying Chicken R Us. You're saying Toys R Us. So why can't you be committed to selling your toys? Who's in charge of your business model over there? Couldn't see this coming. All right. Speaking of Star Wars, do you think that the fact that Star Wars The Last Jedi bombed out so fucking bad, and I don't care how much money it made, I'm talking about how it connected with the kids, since Star Wars is supposed to be for the kids, how come the kids didn't want to buy the toys? I talked on many a video about how my son, he has Finn, from The Force Awakens. He has Finn, he has Kylo, he probably even has Rey. But when the new movie dropped, not one, no lightsaber, no BB-8, no nothing did my son ask for. And remember, The Last Jedi came out right before Christmas, and you didn't see nobody, no one, picking up any toys. No action figures, no nothing. Definitely no alcoholic, bummed out, psychotic Luke. No nothing. No Lego sets. Nothing. I didn't buy anything. He didn't ask for anything, and he still hasn't. I didn't even ask him why. He just didn't. So we got a Flash action figure we just bought last week. He just picked up the Flash. You know what I mean? But Star Wars, man, he avoids that shit like the plague. So yes, and you can't tell me that Toys R Us was not banking heavy on Star Wars action figures and Star Wars toys selling. They had their shelves were stocked full of that. but they're still there. So what's up with that? For you people who say Star Wars is for kids anyway, kids don't like it, man. So got to face the facts. And I do believe that had a huge impact because they were probably hoping that the Christmas season was going to save them, but surprise, it didn't. They would have been better off banking on Avengers Infinity War. That might have helped, but it's too late now. Moving on. Kids. Kids are not how they used to be. Kids are socially stupid these days. It's like they're really not big on imagination and playing games of imagination and playing with toys where they have to use their imagination. When you see today's kids, what do you see? What do you see? I'm going to tell you what you see. What you see is this. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Download app, download app. That's what you see. Kids are very much into their cell phones. They're into apps. They're not into playing with toys like they used to. Snapchat, they do all that extra stuff, So kids have changed, and that's what they're doing. So you don't see them. When's the last time you saw some kids playing with some toys and it wasn't a commercial? You know what I mean? Times have changed, baby. You got to keep up. The Toys R Us, sorry, man. The cell phones, that's what happened. And finally, one other thing that I noticed on my many excursions into the Toys R Us with my son is that, I don't know about you guys, maybe it's just the neighborhood that I live in, but I noticed that there's a lot of toys that are broken into. These little buggers be stealing, man. It's like, I remember, my son, he's a fan of Ninjago, although he kind of liked the movie. Personally, I hated the movie. I should do a video on that, because one thing I noticed about that movie, quick side note, is that for anyone who knows Ninjago, it's a Lego series. And the Lego TV series, to me, was far superior than the Ninjago movie. Did you guys notice, if anyone ever saw that movie, what was strange about that movie is that it's supposed to be a group of ninjas, but in the movie, they not only were they not ninjas, but when they became ninjas, they didn't train. Sound familiar? In the television show, you used to see them training. You used to see them training very much and very often. But in the movie, they literally downloaded their moves because they have an Android. So they downloaded their moves and learned how to do martial arts by downloading it, not by training. But anyway, my son used to be big on Ninjago. That was just a quick side note. And I remember I used to pick up, Ninjago Lego sets for him. And consistently, at least a few times, we noticed that pieces were missing because some kids were breaking into the boxes and stealing the minifigures. So that was something else I noticed that was going on. So, Toys R Us, look, I'm sorry. It's the end of an era, but it seems like the time has come. And unfortunately, if they could not improve the way they went about doing their business, this was inevitable. So, like I said, it's a sad day, Toys R Us. But, man, we're moving on, and I guess we're just going to see what happens next in this age of online shopping and mega stores and malls and things like that. Toys R Us just couldn't keep up. But the only thing that matters, I think, are the people, the people who are being fired or laid off. I hope that they'll be okay. But, it's a sad day, y'all. Toys R Us. Rest in peace. We'll see what's up next. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Catch you on the next one. Rock on.